When I hear the name Judas, the first word that comes to mind is betrayer. And one of the greatest tragedies in human history, Jesus Christ was betrayed by one of his closest friends and followers. And he was handed over to the religious authorities in Jerusalem who were seeking to have him arrested and executed. Handed over for 30 pieces of silver, approximately $250 in our currency today. And that tragedy is deep enough, but it actually runs even deeper. Look with me at the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 27, which reads this way. When Judas, who had betrayed him, saw that Jesus was condemned, he was seized with remorse and returned the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and the elders. I have sinned, he said, for I have betrayed innocent blood. What is that to us? They replied. That's your responsibility. So Judas threw the money back into the temple and he left. And then he went away and he hanged himself. In a storm of shame, unable to bear the weight of this thing that he had done, Judas ended his own life. And he died unable to imagine himself as anything other than a betrayer. Maybe you feel a bit more like Judas than you'd like to admit. I know that I do. And if that's where your heart has landed this Holy Week as you reflect on the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus, I'd like to invite you to consider these words of wisdom and grace from the Croatian theologian Miroslav Volf. A lesson from Judas. The first tragedy is to commit sin. The second is not to believe in forgiveness. The second is worse than the first. The deeper tragedy of Judas does not have to be true for you. Your shame and regret over even the worst things that you've done in your life does not have to be the end of your story. The death of Jesus on the cross means forgiveness and reconciliation with God for even the worst of us. And his resurrection from the dead means the promise of new life, and it means that change and transformation is possible no matter who we are or what we've done. So don't allow your shame and your guilt to sink you even deeper into sin. Rather, bring the very worst that you have to Jesus. Find in him forgiveness for your sins. Find in him a grace that is able to change you into a new person. And find in him and cling to this love that is stronger, that is deeper than even your greatest shame and your greatest guilt. Come to him.